Hey there, welcome to the Junk Drawer. My name is Enzo, and I'm here with my lovely husband.
My name is Davey.
What is your name again?
My name is Davey.
And today we're talking about I'm gonna show him the custom that I made of him. So this came about in a live stream about a month or so ago. I asked you guys what you wanted me to customize, and the hubby was the winner. So here we are. And I have actually made a custom doll for him before.
Yeah, last Christmas you made me one.
Yeah.
Out of a
It was a Creatable World
Barbie
doll.
Right. Doll.
So yeah, this one was made out of a regular Ken size doll. So the one that I made last year is a little smaller, but this one is more to scale, I guess. To
scale to who?
To every other Ken. I don't know. But anyway, So before we get into the actual doll, I'm going to let you see the process I kind of went through making this doll. So here we go. Hey there. So here is the making of the custom doll. I started with a Barbie movie Ken, and here I am just heating his head up so I can pop it off. And then the next step was to trim all of his hair off. And just so you know, there was a lot of trial and error with this doll, as with every doll that I do, and hopefully with each one I get a little better. It's all a learning experience. But anyway, I'm cutting his hair off with scissors, and you'll see in a second that I end up shaving his head after this. So here I am shaving his head with these clippers, and yeah, I'm just like trying to get like as close as possible. This may have been a little bit of overkill, because I could have just kind of done it kind of like roughly, and then gone in with a screwdriver or something to pull the hair plugs out. But I do make it harder on myself in a second, and you'll see. And here I am struggling with these needle nose pliers. My idea was, I'll just like pluck all the individual hair plugs out, which in theory it's like, yeah, that makes sense, but in actuality it's kind of a nightmare. And I don't remember what I actually did, honestly, to get all the hair plugs out, but I think I was just getting frustrated, so I like kind of switched to a different plier. I was like, maybe I'll get more surface area or whatever, but I ended up I don't know, it was weird. But I with a more recent custom that I did, I used a flathead screwdriver, which is a lot easier. If you like scrape the inside of the head with that, the plugs will like just kind of come off, as opposed to doing this kind of like individual pulling kind of motion, which is very, very frustrating and not fun at all. I think at this point I was annoyed, so I was like, let me try shaving again. And for I don't know, I was expecting different results by shaving again. I was like, I'll get like real close to the scalp, but that didn't do anything. The plugs are like in there. So here's where it went a little sideways. I was like thinking in my head, okay, I can't get a smooth scalp because his hair is still kind of in there, and there are holes all over the top of his head. So I was like, I'll use epoxy sculpt, because I've used this before, and I was like, I'll just put this on the top, a thin layer on the top of his head, and then it'll be fine. It did not work out like that. Number one, this epoxy sculpt is not good anymore. And when I first opened it, I was like, why is the gray like green? That should be like a gray color, not green. So I don't know what I was thinking in my head that this would work anyway. But I just decided to go forward and try this method out. Then I proceeded to apply the epoxy sculpt on his scalp, And as you can tell already, it is getting everywhere. It was making everything gray, and it was leaving black marks everywhere and all over his face, and which I never fully got off in the end, which was really frustrating because he just looks dirty. But you live, you learn. But yeah, so this was an experiment ultimately in the end, but I would not recommend doing this. After I applied all the epoxy sculpt, I was like, oh, I'll just like smooth it out with some water, and that actually like spread the the dirt, the dirty look everywhere. This face is just like a mess right now, and I was like, oh no, I'll clean it up with acetone later, and yeah, it was not a fun process. So I think at this point I had ripped the epoxy sculpt off his head and tried to clean as much as I could I didn't want to rub off the eyes or the eyebrows. You can tell there's a little bit eyebrow missing there, but I was trying to clean it up as cleanly as possible. And I'm using this like tiny little brush to do that, but it still didn't clean everything fully. So yeah. So for some reason I don't have footage of this, but I ended up flocking his beard. So I used some tacky glue, and then I dipped his head into the flocking, and it looks fine. It looks fine right now, but for some reason I think when it dried, it got really patchy and weird. So I decided to move on to his chest while I put his head aside, and I used some colored pencils to kind of draw in the chest hairs. And I was actually really happy with this process, and I actually enjoyed it, and I thought it looked pretty good. So yeah. And I used some pastels to kind of give some more dimension to the body. So I used this like reddish color to kind of fill in the hair area. And then I also used some pink to kind of blush the elbows and the knees, because apparently that's a thing that people do, and I think it looks cute. And here are some options for some clothing pieces that I kind of picked out. So here you can see the patchiness I was talking about earlier. I don't know why it dried like this, but I think it was just an uneven application of the glue. So that was my bad, but yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let me try filling it in with some pastels. And that did not really work because I ended up like brushing off the flocking. The flocking was not really on there very, very well. So yeah, it just turned into a mess. I think at this point I was extremely frustrated, and I was like, I'm just going to wipe this thing off and start over. Or I think my plan was just to use pastels for the beard, but I was having a hard time removing the flocking and the glue. The glue would not really come off easily. So I ended up just like taking off as much as I could. Here I am using pastels to fill in the beard and hoping that it looked okay. I feel like at this point I was so over the beard that I kind of left it, and I don't think I did anything else to it, honestly. But at this point, I was like, okay, let me move on to the eyes. I wanted to give him some green in his eyes. So I just took some colored pencil. I went over his existing blue eyes to kind of give it a blue-green look. Oh no, now it's all flooding. It's coming back to me. So I was like, oh, I'm going to flock over the pastels to kind of, so I think I was putting the pastel on to give it like a base layer so it was harder to see through, and I was like, oh, I'll just put glue over the pastels and then I'll flock it again. Yeah, this did not work. Spoiler alert. So this is something you should probably not do. So after I flocked it, I guess for the second time, I was like, oh, let me put some more pastels over top of it. I don't think I learned my lesson from the first time because I think the flocking came off as soon as I started brushing the pastels over top of it. So yeah. And here I am trying to clean up the face yet again, and it was just really hard to clean it up because it almost like just kind of like moved the staining around, and I was getting lots of streaking with this tool, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So I was just like, I'm just gonna clean it up the best I can and kind of live with it. One of the last things I did was to give him some blushing, which I really love this part. I do love blushing some cheeks. So I just took some pastels and kind of blopped them onto the cheeks, and then I was like, ooh, that's a lot. And then I have to blend it out. And here I am apparently blow drying the head for some reason. I don't know if I was just drying something. I don't know, but yeah, as you can see, the top of the head, the top of this head is just a nightmare. It just looks so bad. So that's why it definitely needed the hat. Yeah. And here I am dressing him. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
So, disclaimer.
Uh-huh.
I had some issues
With what?
with the face. So the face isn't like my favorite part of the doll. But you know what? You have another custom. So this custom is going to be like a bonus, like an extra custom.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I know this is I'm like not selling it, but
I want to tell you something,
Yeah.
which is that in any sort of process where someone's going to critique you or they're seeing something, don't start off with all the things that you don't like about it. Just like,
I just had to verbalize
let them do it.
I had to verbalize it.
Yes,
so.
because a lot of the stuff that you see as a person who makes something is probably not even going to register necessarily to the people who are seeing it.
So the good thing about this doll is that I know not to do certain things in my next custom.
Uh-huh.
So it was a learning experience.
Oh,
for sure.
I love. Okay, so
with each custom that I do, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do that.
before I open this, I just want to highlight a couple of things. Cliff notes. The face is the most insane part of this. This was a learning process. I learned so much. Hey, you still have another doll that looks more or less like you. Which is to say, this doll doesn't look like you. It has a crazy face.
Hey, just open the damn doll.
All right, here we go.
Unmummifying it.
All right, so I can already see that you've given it a signature hoodie, which is pretty funny.
Don't forget your coffee.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I guess the coffee thermos is is accurate.
It's your work coffee. So show the front.
All right, so this is the doll. This is me on the way to work. I'm doing it. This is me heading to work. I don't know what era this is. It's like a mix of different eras of me. There you go.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's funny because it sort of looks like a friend of mine.
So I did the chest hair thing, and so there you do have chest hair, and I tried to model it after your actual chest hair. So there's not a ton on there. But,
okay.
Compared to mine, anyway.
Yes, I know you're a lot hairier than I am.
I thought the sweatshirt was pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty accurate.
Sweatshirt's pretty good.
Yeah. Anytime you do a custom of someone, you're never gonna get it's always like a interpretation of the person.
It's also bald, which I am.
It is bald.
It is bald like I am.
I had a hard time figuring out how to make a smooth head. So this doll had hair.
Really? It did?
Hey. It had hair. I took all the hair off, and I tried initially, and you saw it in the video, but it was just a mess. It was just a mess, and then the face was kind of an issue or a challenge for me because the beard, I tried to flock the beard, but the flocking wasn't staying on for some reason, and then I tried to remove it, and then I was like brushing over it with the pastels, and so that's kind of why it looks like the way it does. So
I would say you've got a lot of things right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely did not try to even do any of the tattoos that I have on me.
No. Well, because I figured the sweatshirt.
I know. It's fine. It's fine.
It's just not me. It's fine.
No. I think like in passing, it's one of those things where I know that it's for me, and I can definitely see a lot of the stuff that is me in it. It's also tough because you're not re-sculpting the face. You're not re-sculpting a bunch of stuff, and so those are like little details that like maybe I would see, but like I also am not I would never expect that from anybody. That's really doing like a tiny little face. This is like pretty close to my face. I mean, I think, except that it's got like it's got a much shorter beard.
Take the glasses off.
Oh, see, so it's like,
see?
Huh? I mean, I guess I do smile sometimes like that.
Did you see the eyes are like kind of like I tried to put some green in there?
Yeah.
Some green and blue, and
I mean, it looks about as scuzzy as I do in terms of this thing.
That's exactly what I was going for.
So
scuzzy.
I think in general it's like pretty good. I think it definitely like looks like me because it's dressed like me. But I think like and I think there are some things on here which are really cool that I really like. Like I think the bracelets and stuff is great. The orange hoodie. I have this orange hoodie that I wear a lot, and it's pretty accurate. The green hat is sort of accurate. It's one of my favorite colors, but I don't even think
it should be brown.
It should be brown.
It should be this.
It should be this hat, yeah. But
I don't have a brown hat, and I didn't even think to like dye it or whatever. So.
And like the little white shoes, that's pretty accurate. The dark jeans, pretty accurate. And like the shoulder bag, also pretty accurate. There's a belt in these jeans, which is also pretty accurate. So I think like it's like on point for sure. And if this was given to me by somebody who didn't know me at all, I would be like, wow, you really nailed it. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think like I can see where you like had some struggling with the face a little bit.
Yeah, the face was the biggest thing.
Because stuff's like some of the sweater stuff stuck to it and things like that.
Yeah.
This isn't to try to discount your like all the effort you put into this. I'm just giving you an honest opinion.
I know. If someone were I would never present this to someone that like paid me to make a doll. Like this is like, you're my husband. I've made you a doll
I'm not
before.
going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere.
I can't run away.
So I was like, okay, it's fine. It's not the greatest doll, but it works. It does the job. So
Hi, baby, it's me, your mini husband. Hi, I'm pocket size. You can fit me right in your back pocket, handsome. Come on, take me for a ride in your hoodie pocket.
he does
We'll
this
go get snacks.
all the time. All the time.
Hi. Hey, you guys want to get Vietnamese food? I'm gonna take my bike there. No, I'll just meet you there. You guys can take the bus.
That's exactly what he sounds like. Exactly. Anyway, well, I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad you don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
So-
I don't hate it. I want everyone to know that I feel bad because I feel like I sounded very critical at the beginning, but also I have never seen this thing before, and all I kept hearing was like, yeah, I'm still working on that. I'm still, no, I'm still working on it. And so I knew that there was gonna be some stuff on here that he was gonna be like, yeah, I did this, I did that, I did this, I had to start over.
I struggle a little bit with this
and
one.
it's tough. I don't. What?
But like I said, this was a learning experience. I definitely learned things when after doing this. So, like I said, for the next one, it'll be even better.
Hope you learn where to find the snacks, cause I'm hungry. It's almost lunchtime. I rode my bike here, and I'm so hungry and thirsty. Ooh. Hi, y'all. Hi.
Welcome to my life. Welcome. Anyway, are you done?
I'm pretty done.
Okay.
I'm pretty done.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this doll, and if you think it's a good resemblance. I wish you were wearing the orange sweater.
I'm sorry.
Maybe we'll take pictures. Maybe we'll take pictures of you in the sweatshirt with a. Do you have a green hat?
I don't. That's why it's so wild. Is I don't have a green hat.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me in this very special video.
It was my pleasure, my love. How could I not?
And if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe. And have a great day, evening, morning.
Hit the subscribe button down below, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notifications of any time I put up a new video. Welcome to the junk drawer. Bye-bye.
Anyway, we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.